What's going on, guys? Today I'm doing a walkthrough of my first art book, Muddy Sketches Volume 1. Before we get into the walkthrough of the book, I wanted to kind of show people what they'd be getting from, if they ordered my book on Amazon. But I also wanted to kind of give background on using Amazon's print-on-demand service to publish this book. I think it's a great way for, artists to get their work in book form and out there to the public with no investment, really, no financial investment. The royalties aren't crazy because Amazon's doing all the work for you. So if you're expecting to make, better margins, you're better off self-publishing or using a publisher, getting, a bunch of books and selling them that way. But in this case, it was just, I wanted to do this. I wanted to see how it would go. And I was able to do it by just doing some Googling. I think I watched a review of somebody else who had a book printed on Amazon.com. And yeah, I loved the result. The quality was great. There's different settings. The hardest part was just getting the right, sizing and settings. And that's it was kind of trial and error for me to figure it out. And maybe I'll do a video when I'm doing the next book on Amazon. I'm thinking of just walking people through the process when I'm doing it then. So, until then, for now, we have a finished product to go over it and to kind of dissect the quality of it. But yeah, basically, if you're an artist, you've been drawing all year, you've been illustrating all year, you've been doing the Inktober's and that kind of thing, and you dream of one day, working with a publisher and putting out art books like some of your favorite artists, dream no further, because you can do it sooner than you thought. You can literally go online and search Amazon KDP, which I think stands for Kindle Digital Printing or Direct Publishing. I don't know, something like that. And by signing up, which you kind of sign up through your own Amazon account that you have already, and basically putting your book in PDF format in the right sizing. If you use Procreate, for example, for illustrating or whatever, editing illustrations and drawings, you can literally when you're going through the process of drafting your book order, when you figure out what size you want to do from Amazon, you can set your size on Procreate and import your illustrations and drawings into that Procreate size, and then save all of those pages as a PDF, and then there you go. Then you can get your book uploaded in for the print paperback version, and you can also have it uploaded for their Kindle edition. So you could be making, your ways on both Kindle and print. But I feel with art books, most people want to get the print, they want it on their coffee table. So I feel that'll be something you guys might want to go for. With all that said, I'm trying to think if there's any other general thing to cover with working with Amazon. Overall, I was really impressed at how quickly you could do things. I kind of did it in one afternoon, just gathered all my drawings. I was using Procreate and this other app, the Comic Draw app that I use for my comic book. And I just kind of put the book together, uploaded it to Amazon's print on demand, profile that I had. And you would get a proof, and the proof sometimes would show some pages were cut or whatever, and then I'd have to re-edit and figure all that out and then re-upload. So that was the biggest challenge. Oh, hi, Rose. Don't mind her. She's just stepping all over my book. Hey. Yeah, you're a star now. Come on. Down you go. She had to make her cameo for the first time. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I think I was talking about the uploading. Yeah, the challenge I had was uploading it, then doing like an online proof of how it would look once printed. And my pages were all color, so like there'd be little white borders sometimes, and that was the only challenge really. So once I figured that out, you can submit it for review, and Amazon was like pretty quick. It was like within 12 hours they replied. Might have been within 5 or 6 hours they replied saying, hey, either you're good, or I think the first time they replied, they were like, you're kind of almost good, because I had it set to 5.5 by 8.5. And that was like a standard sizing of theirs, or one of the standard sizings they had. And they were like, oh, you need to add like 0.125 inches on each of those. So it was really more like 5.625 by 8 point whatever. So that might be the biggest challenge you see with uploading your book through Amazon. But really, it's like once you fill out everything, like the description, and I'm really having trouble because I did this in December. So this will be great for when I do it next December, to just kind of like show you guys live how the process works. But just to, I guess, in terms of general, background on how the process was, not bad at all. Very easy to do. You could literally like have a book uploaded within a day and it'll be live, and you could order author copies, which they send you like, basically you get a discount when ordering, kind of like print on demand t-shirt websites where you order a sample. Your sample rate is a lot lower than the rate it would be if you were buying it on the retail site or whatever. So there's that. And I think you could do free proofs, which I didn't do. I just ordered like the author copies, but like a few for myself, because I wanted to like keep some, give one away, and then, sign some if people wanted to buy them directly from myself. And yeah, like you get them at a discount. But I'm wondering how many like author proof copies you could get. I imagine like they wouldn't do more than like 1 or 2, because it's like, how are you I can't imagine you'd be like, oh, I want to make sure 100 are printed right. Like send them over for free. I can't imagine that working. So I mean, I'll find out next time, I guess. But in terms of what I did, I ordered like a few author copies, loved how they came out, was very impressed with the quality. And, maybe a local publisher would do it better, but for what I wanted like a matte finish, and I want, they're all color, and I picked the size. I mean, it wasn't like my first choice for size, but it worked. So I was really happy with how they came out, and now they're on sale. And with all of that said, now I think we could get into the walkthrough, talk about these pages and the illustrations in these pages. And if you like what you see, you can go on Amazon and get your boy's book, become a collector today for as low as $9.99. Probably even lower if you get the Kindle edition. I want to say it's $2 or $3.99, but y'all want this for the coffee table, so why are we even talking about Kindles? Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so before we even get into it, it's funny looking at the cover. I wanted it to be like very hand drawn, and I mean it was. But just like it's still funny seeing like the by with my first and last name. Like I almost debated putting the by at all, and I almost thought of putting my Instagram at, and then I'm just like, you should just put your name on it. Like, why not? So I did. Yeah, let's move on. Page 1, a collection of original sketches and illustrations created by artist Mahmoud Muddy Suwan during 2019. The Many Faces of Snow is the first thing you see when you open this. I wanted to do like a spread, and I did another one, but this was the first one. I started with a spread and ended with a spread. I'll just leave it there. This piece I was doing on my iPad on the way and on the way to work and on the way home from work when I was living in Maryland. It was a long bus ride that I was taking to work, and I was just drawing, various, I guess, facial expression studies of my character Snow, who you saw last week when I painted the sculpture version of him. Rick and Morty from my imagination, or how reimagined by yours truly. This was a fun sketch I did close to the end of the year in 2019, and I actually colored it recently and kind of, touched it up a bit, put them in a unique setting in my, original city, or my original setting, Onion City, and had a lot of fun with it after I colored it. But at this stage, it was just a sketch at that time, so I threw it in. This was, I don't remember which Inktober prompt this was, but it was an Inktober prompt. And it started like this, like the left side, and I kind of, it's one of those things with this book and maybe future books, is I wanted to show the progression of a piece. And I don't know, I don't know if the next book is going to have the raw sketch and then the final, but in this case, I just had a photo of the original sketch, and I was like, I want to show that and compare it to, my polished up illustration that I did for Inktober. This is, the left side is a mural that is supposed to be happening in my studio this month or next month. It's a character you haven't met yet. Well, you may have seen him in different pieces, but you haven't, seen him as prominently lately. He struggles with these night demon characters that you see behind him. And yeah, it was a sketch concept idea that I was playing with while I was in Maryland, and finally got the sketch in a place where I liked it, and it will be a mural real soon once I move on from my current painting and move on to it. This sketch is an ideal situation with these three characters of mine if they just, found time to go do a photo shoot together. Turn on another light. There we go. Didn't realize it was getting this dark. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah, we got Snow smiling in the middle. We got Faye on the right. We got Mehmet on the left. And this is Mehmet over here as well. And yeah, let's keep going here. Oh, this is an interesting page. This was me just sketching out an idea I had for a comic book page. And it'll definitely be, used, I guess, as reference when I do that page itself. But I was just kind of planning out a comic book page here and kind of just scribbling, facial expressions and emotions that I was trying to capture. Just an argument between Snow and Nix the cat. And on the right, we have another Inktober piece. And I swear I don't think I could remember any of these Inktober prompts. I did an Inktober video, so if you want to go see what prompt this one was, but go watch that video. But for now, it's just comic book panels. Again, my character Snow lighting a cigarette, tears in his eyes. My guy's emotional, so it is what it is. This page is pretty much dedicated entirely to Snow. We've got a couple ink drawings of him, some where he's looking a little beefy, or one where he's looking beefy. This one he's kind of like beat up and smoking a cigarette after being beat up, and then this one he's just looking a little raggedy. He's missing a shoe. You know, just a roughed up Snow. I don't know why I always rough him up. It's kind of foul. This was kind of like a doodle page from my sketchbook, and I just loved how it turned out. I have like a rose vine, a night demon cloud, Snow again with the cigarette, another night demon, which I'm like, damn, I really killed this night demon in a ballpoint pen. Really like how that turned out. And I've got like one of my indigo flowers over here, kind of looking a little distorted, but hey, it's a doodle. I think the prompt for this Inktober piece was build or building, and I drew Snow in like construction gear with like a house on the side that he had just built. That's pretty much the extent of that. Somebody's like, yo, back to work, stop posing for photos, bro. And then over here you've got a rose. Shout out to Beauty and the Beast. I think the prompt was enchanted. I think I did a video for this one too. Go check that one out. But yeah, more Inktober pieces here. I forgot what this one is. I'm imagining it was something dark and evil. And then this one was Swing, obviously, pretty standard there. And also, let me just comment as we're looking here. I don't know if this is showing on the pages themselves, but like the quality is like really good. So like shout out to Amazon for not being like a broco printer shop, you know? Like it's print on demand. They're taking on, you know, all the work, and they're doing a great job with it. And I know this sounds like an ad, but they're not paying me for this. I would love it if they did, but my views wouldn't change either way, clearly. All right, here we've got the Night Demon rulers in their humanoid android forms. And this may be like the first and only time I've drawn them in human form. And to the right, this was like a draw this in your style challenge that I did. I don't remember the artist. I want to say it was at Davilorium, maybe. I'll have to check on that. And I did a character they drew, trying to experiment with like my cross hatching with ink pen. It got a little messy, but I wasn't mad how it turned out. But I guess this is an art review. This is a how does it look in your book review. Moving on, we got Nix the cat, and I had a photo of the sketch of Nix the cat, so I wanted to throw it into the corner. And here, this was a reference sketch that I used when I created my snow sculpture, and I eventually colored it and kind of threw a little pink background, and yeah, decided to kind of double up on the ink, I guess, sketches and throw snow in the background. This is like my 2019 masterpiece, I would say. I really love this painting still. You know, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, oh, you could have painted the hands a little better, but overall, still love the painting. This was the original sketch concept for that painting. To the right was just me kind of doodling some shoes, doing some sketch warm-ups, some studies, if you will. Just drawing sneakers. Trying to get better at drawing sneakers so that I could draw my own original sneakers for my characters, which is an ongoing internal debate of like, do I draw original shoes for them or put my guys in Jordans and shit? Which I might just do both. Like, I don't think there's an issue with that. So let me know in the comments if you want to see Snow in some Jordans or some shit. Might put him in some Doc Martens, considering I painted his boots hella black on the sculpture. This is my girl Mona, one of my main characters who you guys are used to seeing in her wolf form. but believe it or not, she had a human form before that. She's an indigo child. She has a lot of, unique abilities. Yeah, that was like, I guess, a face study while trying to revamp her, human form. And to the right is kind of like a costume design for her. Shoes, legs, torso, shoulder pieces, some jewelry, accessories, that kind of thing, tattoos, gloves. She's a little raw, rugged, futuristic cyberpunk fantasy girl. Dagger on the thigh, she's out here. This is Faye, or Faya, or Lil Faye. Just like a little character study that I did, and looking at it, I'm like, I want to redo this so bad because I could just draw better, which I think every artist feels that way with their works. The heights are a little off, but yeah. Again, why am I reviewing my art? I didn't mean to review my art. This should be like a look at how good the book looks type of walkthrough. Anyway, that man. Not gonna get into how I feel about the art because I already know I could do better than this. The sketch, I really like the sketch version. I feel like I made the digital version a little funky, but it looks great in the book, yo, I'm telling you. These were fun. This was a commission I did for a newly married couple. These pieces were going in their, little wedding ceremony pamphlet, and it was a lot of fun. So this is like the first drawing, second drawing, third. I think the prompt was like, groom arrives on horse, bride walking down the aisle, groom putting necklace on bride, bride and groom walking around, a fire pit. And then finally a cover page. Had a lot of fun coloring this one digitally, and I think it came out great in print form. Aha! You guys probably saw the final version of this recently. This is the piece that I just did of inspired by, well, really more of a study of the movie The Fifth Element, a specific, I guess, composition / scene from The Fifth Element, the drive-through McDonald's scene. This was like the first sketch I took of it. You guys have seen it in its final form, and you could probably expect to see the final version of the sketch in the next book. Oh, now we got gruesome. Again, I always draw my guy Snow in tough situations, and he's not looking too good here. But in terms of print quality, he's looking great. Anyway, moving on. This was like a hover bike concept that I was working out, and I was using like my pencil sharpener as reference. Yeah, still needs more work, but we'll leave it there. This was a draw this in your own style piece that I did. Shout out to, I want to say, Uncommon Threat on Instagram. Shout out to him. This is his character. And then, like I said, we started with a spread and ending with a spread of my guy Mehmet with his I'll Be Famous When I'm Dead hoodie. Stay tuned for that collection coming real soon. But yeah, that's the end of my first art book, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. Again, it's sold on Amazon.com for $9.99. You can find the link in the description. I'm really proud of this book, and I'm really excited for the next book. I think I'm going to do a big, I know I'm going to do a big, like this one was like 40 pages. I'm shooting for at least 80 on the next one. And yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm definitely adding like a shout out section on that book. And I think I'm going to update my Patreon where like if you're donating $1 a month, your name will be in my next book. And if you're donating, let's say $4 or $5 a month, your name will be in the next book, and you'll get a free book when it comes out. So stay tuned for those updates. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned something from my ramble about Amazon's print on demand. If not, feel free to hit me up with any questions. I can definitely help you out. And yeah, thank you. Till next time. Peace.